Hi everybody, I'm back for the second card and we're going to do our technique card next. And this, I call this a twofer because we're basically getting two cards for the price of one, I guess you would say. And we're using die cuts as stencils with this technique. So here's the two different cards you can make. And this is the one we're stenciling, and then our actual stencil we're going to use on this card. So let's get using the Blossoms in Bloom stamp set. And it's got some beautiful basic sentiments there and some flowers. And then it's got these really large dies. So you can run those through quickly and get a really great impression with not too much work. So we've got beautiful large dies, and let's grab our kit here. So we're going to start with the sponging. So let's get that done first. You're going to take your white Whisper White panel and then your Whisper White flower. You can see that looks kind of cool just as it is like that, but we're gonna, let's see, I like it better that way. So we're gonna do our stenciling, and I'm gonna use three colors here. I've got Old Olive, Crushed Curry, and Rich Raspberry. I thought these were kind of fun for late summer, early fall colors. And then I've got three sponge daubers. Let's get them with the right color here. And you can also use Stampin' Sponges or even a sponge brayer, and you'll get a nice look here. Okay, I'm not going to do the entire card, but we'll see. We'll see how much I get done here. So just going to pick up some ink with my sponge, and actually I'm going to start with the crushed curry first because I want to do the flower centers first. And I've seen a lot of people do this technique where they just do rainbow stripes. So that's another option if you don't want to follow the flower, is just do stripes. So I'm getting all my centers done first. Okay, it looks like I got them all. And then we'll do some rich raspberry for the outsides of the flowers. It might be a little easier to use a sponge with such a large area like this, but we'll see how it works with the sponge dauber. Getting some color on our stencil and behind the stencil. I guess I better finish this because I don't want to lift it up and then have to see it shifted a little bit, so I'll just try to get it back in the right spot there. Alright, looks like I got some raspberry finished, and then we'll do some Old Olive leaves here. And on my sample I filled up the whole card with color, and I'm going to see how it looks if I leave some white space this time. So I want to make sure I go around all the leaves. Oops, there's a flower I missed right there. Get that. Okay, I've got some white space, but looks like I've covered most of the stencil here. So let's pull that off and see what it looks like. Ooh, there we go. So that piece is going to be an extra for you. It's your twofer, and you can just stick that on another card and use it. I just put it on a thick Whisper White panel, and then I put a little sentiment on the strip. I think I gave you some strips of cardstock there to make put your sentiments on. So that's done, that piece, and then we'll grab the rest of our pieces here to finish up. Okay, I've got the outer flower, so we're going to layer that together. Let's see, get it the right direction here. Nope, I had it right the first time. So it's going to go like Oh, like this. Or, oh, I know, I've cut it backwards. Let's see. Technical difficulties, yeah. Match up the flowers. Okay, this can't be this difficult. Why isn't it matching? Oh, there we go. Okay, that's how it's going to be. So I wanted to show you a little trick that I use to adhere these thin die cuts. And that is to use, I have a Stampin' Sponge here that I only use for glue, and my silicone mat. I think I've showed you this before, but just add a little glue there, pick it up with your sponge, and then you can dab the glue on like this, quick and easy, and then put your piece on like that. And now when this is dry, it'll just pull right off because of the silicone, so it's very handy. Oh, it worked perfectly that time. I got it on. And now for the background, I used the Tasteful Textures embossing folder just to give it a little more texture when I layered that on. And so I just wanted to show you, get these ink pads out of the way here, and show you the new die cut machine. And it's called the Stampin' Cut and Emboss Machine. I don't know why it has such a long name, but I think I have it down finally. And I wanted to show you how I embossed that Tasteful Textures. Here it is. Oh, I gotta show it off. Woo-hoo. Let's see. The sides fold down like this, so it's very portable with the handle, yet it's still nice and sturdy. Okay, for embossing, we're going to use this sandwich, and this is one of my favorite features, is every plate has a number, and it shows you exactly how to do your sandwiches. So 3D embossing folders, you're going to have plate, then folder with cardstock, and then number 4. Now if you have some of the older dies that are, or folders that are thicker than this, then you're going to use number 3, which is a cutting plate, which is a little bit thinner so that it is the same thickness. Okay, Tasteful Textures, stick that together. See if I have enough space to run this through here. I have it on paper, so it's not holding as steadily as usually when it's on a surface. It has this nice rubber on the back. Alright. Let's see what this looks like when it's run through the new machine. Okay, let's see. Can you see that? Let me move the machine out of the way. That nice texture. And this is a folder I'm going to be using a lot, I know, because it's just, let's see. I think you can, oh, there's a good view of it. Okay. Tasteful Textures is the name of Tasteful Textile. Sorry, Tasteful Textile 3D folder is the name of that. And a little look at the new embossing machine and die cut machine, which is I love. Okay, I think I'm going to finish up this card now because we have all our pieces together. So we are just going to add the embossing folder here. The embossed piece, then add our flower piece next, and I think this is big enough that I can just put some, let's see, I'll use this end of the liquid glue and just put some dots of glue here and there to hold this together. And then just put that on like so. Okay, I did not get out the stamp and everything for this, but all I did was stamp in Rich Razzleberry, the happy birthday right there, and you should have enough on your strip to do a couple of sentiments, so you have some for your other card. And again, if you don't have the Blossoms in Bloom stamp set, the Itty Bitty Greetings is a nice substitute, or anything that you have that has kind of a small, narrow sentiment. And that way you're not covering up the pretty flower because it just has such an impact, that large blossom there. So that's it for our technique card today. We learned how to do a twofer card using die cuts as stencils. Again, the handouts are in the Facebook group in Unit 5, and I'll show you a couple of more cards I made with this stamp set. So here's another twofer. This is called a split card, and basically you run the die cuts through and get them all set up, and then you cut them all in half, and so you get 2 cards out of 1. Isn't that cool? And these are the sentiments from the stamp set, and really nice ones, I think, for this sort of thing. So another twofer card and a way to use the die cuts. And here's just a real simple card. I did very vanilla on all the layers, and again with the Tasteful Textile folder, and then I took my scissors and kind of roughed up the edges just to give even some more texture. And then here's another one with a different embossing folder. Let's see if I can remember the name of this one. Old World Paper, I think. Anyhow, it's kind of another, it kind of gives you that texture of crumpled old ancient paper. So this is with crumb cakes, so a nice neutral one. Oh, here's another one, another twofer that I did with the stencil technique, but this time I did the stenciling in Versamark ink. So we have gold embossing, and then our outline has the gold embossed here. And again, I used the Tasteful Textile, and I even distressed the edges even more. Again, some nice fall colors with the gold and the crushed curry, and this is the new cinnamon color. So there we go, some color cards with blossoms in bloom, and a fun technique with using die cuts as stencils. So I'm going to clean up this card. Oh, if you're just getting on, here's the host code for the month and my website for orders are appreciated. Our host this month is Tammy, and so you can use that code for her. And I'll sign off and get ready for the next card.